Picture this. A British prince, standing in a courtroom, voice cracking, eyes glassy, and instead of royal poker, face raw emotion. Not a Netflix drama, not a tabloid headline, real life. Prince Harry, mid-testimony, saying one sentence that hit like a hammer, asterisk, they made my wife's life an absolute misery, asterisk. And suddenly, this wasn't just a lawsuit, it was personal. This story isn't about crowns or castles. It's about pressure and how much a human can take before the armor cracks. Let's break this down moment by moment, because every layer of this case reveals something bigger than gossip. First, the setting. High court, stone walls. Legal language sharp enough to cut glass. Harry isn't here for a photo op, he's here suing Associated Newspapers over alleged unlawful information gathering. 7 high-profile figures joined him, but make no mistake, all eyes are on the Ginger Prince, because when royalty sues the press, history leans forward in its chair. And just when you think this is another dry legal battle, wait, because the next moment flips the tone completely. Harry talks about Meghan, and not in polished, PR-approved sentences. His voice tightens. He says her life was made miserable, not uncomfortable, not inconvenient. Miserable. That word doesn't slip out accidentally. That's a word you use when you're done pretending you're fine. And that's where the temperature in the room changed, because the next part explains times why asterisk. Harry says he couldn't complain back then. Why? Because of the institution. The royal rulebook that quietly says, never complain, never explain. Imagine being hit repeatedly and being told silence is dignity. That's not strategy, that's pressure cooking emotions. And if that sounds heavy, buckle up because the timeline gets messy. Most of the articles he's suing over were published between 2001 and 2013. The defense says, too late. The law says 6 years. Harry says, I wasn't free to act. This isn't procrastination, it's restraint enforced by tradition. Like being locked in a room with a fire alarm you're not allowed to pull. But here's where it gets spicy. Lawyers suggest the leaks came from his own social circle. Harry snaps back, not angrily precisely. My social circles were not leaky. That's not denial. That's exhaustion talking. Because being told your friends betrayed you hurts almost as much as the betrayal itself. And if you think this ends neatly, it doesn't, because the internet had opinions. While Harry spoke, comments outside the courtroom were brutal, sympathy, mockery, accusations of playing the victim. It's the modern Colosseum. Someone bleeds emotionally, and the crowd debates whether it's real. But here's the twist most people miss. This case isn't just about Harry, or Meghan, or tabloids. It's about power imbalance. When one side has printing presses and the other has a lifetime of silence training, the fight is never fair. That's the uncomfortable question sitting under all of this. When does scrutiny become intrusion? And that leads to the final thought. Harry didn't cry because he's weak. He almost cried because he's human. And whether you agree with him or not, this trial is forcing something rare into daylight. What happens when a system built on silence collides with a person who's done staying quiet? Now, here's my question to you, because this story doesn't end in court. Do public figures lose their right to peace the moment they become famous? Or is there a line the press should never cross? Drop your take in the comments, hit subscribe if you want more stories where power meets pressure, and I'll see you in the next one.